Namo tasse bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhasse. Namo tasse bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhasse. Namo tasse bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhasse. Katanca bhikkhave bhikkhu kāye kāyānupassī vihārati idha bhikkhave bhikkhu aranyagato ārukhamūlagato āsuññāgāragato nisīdati pallankam ābhujitva ujung kāyam panidāya parimukam satin upantapetva so sato assa sati sato passa sati. Dear devotees, today is the third day we are going to discuss about this Sathipattana. Basically we are dealing with the Sathipattana Sutta, that is the number 10 or 10th Sutta you find in the Majjhima Nikaya. You have the longer version still in the Digha Nikaya. In the very first talk itself, we try to understand the meaning of this Sutta. The Sathipattana means the foundation of mindfulness. It deals basically 4 aspects. Therefore, usually translated as 4 foundations of mindfulness. In the last two talks, we try to get an understanding about the background information about this sutta and the very introduction the omniscient one made at the beginning or at the outset of this exhortation. Today we are going to tackle the real practical part of it, the pragmatic aspect of this sutta, whereby the omniscient one himself raised a question. It appears like raising a question, but usually that does not indicate the listeners are responsible in answering. He never expects that kind of thing, and that is the way he presents himself, the topic that he is going to deal immediately afterwards. So here, in this case, the omniscient one asking, Katanca bhikkhave bhikkhu kāye kāyānupassī vihārati. I always try to incorporate little Pali words. So for the beginners it may appear like little cumbersome and difficult, but they also have to little sacrifice and take little responsibility about little learning at least 1 or 2 terms a day. Because when you get acquainted with the historical language of Pali, you feel kind of a closeness to the Indian culture, as well as the time-wise, the Buddha's time, and coming little closer to the triple gems, the Buddha, the Dhamma and Sangha. So therefore, sprinkling here and there a few words of Pali and giving the shades of meanings in English will be a kind of a language class also. But we must not disturb the theme of the topic by this, so therefore carefully here and there I usually add this Pali terminology also. The meaning of it is, and how does a bhikkhu abide contemplating the body as a body. This itself is quite an inviting kind of a statement, because the human body is the most mysterious and the most complicated thing in this universe. And now in the medical science, as well as in chemistry and physics, they are observing this body in all the possible ways, using microscopes all the kind of thing, and still it is a kind of a mystic. The mystery behind the body is yet to understand. And this statement made at least 2,550 years before, and still 20 more years maybe. And there the Buddha is asking or leading us to see the body as a body, or contemplating upon the body as a body. So in the usually commentary it says, Kaye Kayanupassi Viharati. Contemplate, or the contemplating the body as body means it's a kind of a stressing the aspect of body. But if you take little time and go into that, this is a kind of a revolutionary or radical kind of invitation to see the body as body. So you can say, to see the body as a totality. Don't try to analyze it. Don't try to separate into elementary parts. You try to see as it's a unbroken wholeness, totality. Just see the body as body. So that means the observer and the observed merged into each other, rather than you try to see it in an analytical manner. This may be the first time one get this kind of a perspective into one's own life. You are asked to see the body, or asking to contemplate the body upon body. Body as body. Because we are usually get attracted to each other due to different features of the body. We are not going to see this as in totality. We see one aspect of it, the beauty of it, or its mechanical strength, or the attraction to the opposite sex. This kind of many perspectives are there. But all the perspectives are limited. They are not looking the body as in totality. So therefore here, at the outset itself, he gives the total task to the meditator. Here it is in the Sutta itself, it is calling as a bhikkhu, but easily we can translate into the meditator, the practitioner. In Pali we call yogi also, so asking to see the body as a body. But that is the ultimatum, that is the last. At last, only you can see body as body, and then you will not have so much of craving, or so much of hatred, or so much of ignorance about the body. So therefore the technique that we are going to discuss immediately is to give tools, give ways and means to see the body as a body. So that is why he starts the topic. He says, Katancha bhikkhave bhikkhu kaye kayanupassi viharati. And how a bhikkhu abides contemplating the body as body. And then coming out with the technique. Ita bhikkhave bhikkhu aranyagato rukka moolagato sunyagara. Slowly, giving the best conducive conditions or situations whereby you will lose all the kind of other contemplations, other premeditative thoughts, conditioning about the body, and preparing the background to see the body as body. For that, the Buddha invites us to go to a forest, or under a tree, or to a vacant place. Because whenever you go to a place where it is acquainted with other people, or somebody, or anybody, whatever body, that is the most attractive or distractive thing. So your mind get either desire or delight, or get kind of a hatred, or kind of a bewilderment in the mind. So therefore going to the forest, or going under a tree, or going to a vacant hut means that you try to isolate your body to your mind. But now when we come to the whole like this, you can see many people. When it is happen like that, may be a distraction for the beginners. Because while meditating, the thought can happen what will be the other people's impression upon me. And the yogi himself will try to see what is the other people are doing, all the kind of thing. That is why when you come to a meditation hall, when you come to a meditation center, you have to have that kind of a consideration or understanding about the thing that you are going to do. So you have to be very careful about the other psychologies. You must have to have a decent kind of attire, dressings, as well as not to disturb other psychologies by talking or making noises, as well as not to have intimacy, so I have to have good space. And once these situations are assured, that this place become again a vacant place, like or empty place. Because everyone's intention is to see their own body as body. So therefore, once you sit and take comfortable sitting and focus your attention introvert to your body, others also will in the same mentality, then there is no much of interference with the other psychologies. Therefore, when you are sitting, come to a group sitting, you have to abide by the atmosphere, the demand for this kind of meditation. So therefore, just coming to meditation center, sitting with other yogi itself is a good meditation. So specifically the Westerners, when they come to places like Nissarana, and they are going to the meditation hall barefoot, it's a big meditation for them. Sitting on the ground, big meditation for them. Because they have never done, they have never touched the Mother Earth with their naked foot. They have never taken a seat, the biggest one in the world. And that itself is a kind of a coming back home. So therefore, even if you are not successful in concentration, or even if you do not know what is the real technical meaning of mindfulness, just sitting with others and associating with other yogis itself going to give good vibes. Because these are things very rarely happening in one's life. So, going to a forest, or sitting under a tree, or going to an empty place, itself is making kind of a, if it is not religious, at least spiritual kind of atmosphere. And whenever the Buddha talking and mentioning about this anapanasati, or mindfulness on in-breath and out-breath, he never failed to mention this atmosphere. Rukkha-mūla-gata, sunyāgāra-gata, aranya-gata. But it is very, some may find it very difficult to get the maximum ideal situation. That is why nowadays these meditation centers are being coming up just to assimilate this situation, whereby all are coming to the hall for meditation. Therefore, everyone, each and every, can forget about the others and the atmosphere and mind your own business. Back to breathing, back to the body. So therefore, this background, the atmosphere, is quite important, specifically to the beginners. And then Nishidati. Nishidati means sitting posture. In the future talks that are yet to come, we will discuss about the other four postures possible. Each posture has its own intrinsic characteristics relating to the mental qualities. The sitting posture usually recommend for concentration. When you are lying down, it is more sleepy and sloth on torpor can happen. Therefore, inclined to thickening kind of concentration, if at all it is coming. And if it is a standing posture, beginners find very difficult or effortful to maintain the posture. And in the walking meditation, you are intentionally moving the body, therefore it is to arouse the energy aspect. Of course, we do not know which kind of personality we are, what are the likings and disliking. But the standard method is, at the beginning, in the Sathipattana Sutta, going to give the maximum or most conducive situation for concentration. For the concentration, the sitting posture is quite presented first and foremost. So when you are in the sitting, the Nisidati, the best is the full lotus posture. But this is a very difficult thing for a beginner. But this is, I am talking about the best or the standard. When you sit on a plain, flat ground with full lotus posture, you can see all your disturbing bones are coming up and the fleshy part pushed down, so you feel like sitting on a cushion. But if you are not familiar with it, within few minutes the tension start and all the kind of thing, therefore it will take long time. At least if it is not full lotus, you can go for a half lotus or quarter, called Sukhasana or Virasana. Those who are familiar with this Hatha Yoga. And in the yogic practice also, they have a special respect or consideration for this lotus posture. So when you go there, from the modern point of view, you can feel your whole body is in triangular shape, just like a pyramid in Cairo, and that is the most established. So Nishidati means that you are coming to the sitting posture and establish the establish the body posture to have most durable, most comfortable, most symmetrical and relaxed mood. Nishidati Pallanka. Pallanka is the one, that is why we in Sri Lankan we call Paryanka. Paryanka is a Sanskrit term, Pallanka is the Pali term, and sitting cross-legged is the English translation. You sit cross-legged. But if you have any other kind of difficulty or ailment or due to difficulties or weaknesses due to age, you may find whatever may be the sitting posture, but the best is to have a straight back chair so that your upper body can be kept erect. If you are living in an armchair, something like that, you will be maybe more lean back and therefore find difficult to maintain the posture for a longer time. So when you are sitting, the height of the chair must be your height of your lower leg up to the knee level, and then legs will be comfortably placed upon the ground and you will be sitting. This is also could be considered as a Nishidati or sitting posture. And nowadays the Tibetan method, the meditating, different kind of benches are prepared. So they are accepted as far as you are symmetrical and sitting in comfort or relaxed, then you can say Nishidati Pallanka. Sunyagaragatova, Rukkhamulagatova, Aranyagatova, Rukkhamulagatova, Sunyagaragatova, Nishidati Pallanka, Parimukam Sating Pattapetta. You have to, when you are sitting, once the upper body made erect, if I am to make a little remark, when you are sitting in the lotus posture and you are assuming the structure of this pyramid, it is just slightly forward bent. Then only you feel comfortable. So when that comes, then Panidahaya Parimukam Sating Upattapetta. Then only you are going to place the mindfulness just in front of you. That means these instructions are basically leading towards the breath, in-breath and out-breath. Because when you are breathing, if you see the most common experience, and in the sense the standard method is, the in-breath and out-breath usually get touched, get the feeling at the tip of the nose or on the top of the lip. So it is just like when you are closing your eyes and focusing the attention, it appears just like in front of you. But there may be lot of other alternatives. So these conditions give the standard, what is the standard, and the common thing usually happens. So once this is fixed, that means your atmosphere is the very calm and quiet, not distracted kind of. Rather it is concentrating, and then your posture more conducive for sitting posture, the concentration, and then it is durable, and then make the upper body erect so that the in-breath and out-breath air draft or air column will be undisturbed. After making all these only, you just place the mindfulness or with the vigilance or the diligence in front of you, and then try to see in-breath and out-breath. So this last piece of instructions, to keep with the mindfulness in front of you, I found when I am acquainting more with the beginning yogis, appear to be like conditioning. So therefore we have to add little more information or more detailed instructions so that yogis find good start. Otherwise, if you are going to place the attention or the mindfulness or the vigilance in front of you, you may be forcing your breath. The forced breathing can happen in order to get the touch prominently at the tip of the nose or on the upper lip. This is not the basic idea. The best thing is, after you may come to the posture and taken a comfortable sitting and made the body symmetrical and relaxed, best thing is to not to focus any place, but to have the whole body as your focus. So therefore you are at the beginning, just see the sitting posture. You sit comfortably and let the mind to scan through the whole body to see whether it is comfortable, it is relaxed, and you are making kind of a loving kindness to your body. And then do not try any suggestion. Just to be with the totality of the body. It is an unseparated or in the sense unbroken kind of wholeness of the body. The total thing, do not try to analyze it. And this is a kind of the contentment kind of thing. It's a full, unbroken kind of experience. Even for the split second, you become here, now I am. That means the mind is not wandering along the yesterday what happened or the past, or no future planning or excitements. It is in this very present moment. And for the moment, here means the whole body. And your very consciousness, your very attention, your very mindfulness is placed. So here, now I am. Sometimes it is reduced to here and now. Whatever may be digestible to you, you have to take the whole body as the point of attention and just relax. In this time, when you are observing the body like that, you can see what is the stream of consciousness. Is it completely taken away in wandering thoughts, or daydreaming, or fantasizing. So if it is so, you know, it is not to introduce something, it's just to see now mind is completely in thinking, or in wandering, or daydreaming. So you can be aware. Do not react to it, because usually beginners, specifically when they are going towards the concentration, try to react whatever the object comes, unless otherwise the primary object. So you have to be aware of that. As far as you are reacting, the insight will never take place. The reaction is the most ugliest thing the human being has developed. As far as the reaction is there, no action. Action is so beautiful. Action is so 100%. Action is full holiness. The wholeness, the totality. To go to the totality, you have to forget about, or you have to be aware the reaction. Therefore it is called awareness. Be aware. Awareness of the thoughts. Or otherwise you may find the distracting sounds come and irritate you. Or sometimes it may be lovely music come and take your attention. So whatever may be. Or you may see from the beginning the body pains. If that kind of distractions are there, that means you must be aware of that and try to be with it totally. Try to see in its totality. When it is happening, you will see, as far as you are not reacting with thoughts, they will come and go. As far as you are not reacting with the sounds, they will come and go. As far as you are not reacting with the pain, they will come and go, because thoughts are coming to go. Sounds are coming to go unless otherwise you react it. Therefore, let the sounds to go, don't disturb it. Let the thoughts come and pass through your consciousness, don't disturb it. Similarly with the pain. So the very basic idea of being contemplating on the body as body is really helpful if you can understand the concept at the beginning. So before going to the next step of focusing or be mindful on the breathing, you just make the ground clear. It is just like crossing the road, specifically in the country like Sri Lanka. You have to see both the sides where the vehicles are coming, otherwise you may cross. But in these highways, don't try that game. Because you have to have the pedestrian crossings. They are only with the light you have to do. But in the normal case, you have to see both the sides. If there are no danger only, you take the chance and cross. Something like that. When you are looking at your stream of consciousness, heavy vehicles or traffic, something like thoughts or sounds or pains. If it is happening, do not try to introduce any kind of object of meditation. Instead, you just see them, and they are, keep the secret or keep the understanding. As far as you are reacting, you are promoting thoughts. As far as you are reacting, you are going to get more and more irritated from the sounds. As far as you are reacting, pains also become agitated and aggravated. To realize what I am telling, it will take long time, sure. But I am just giving as a rule of thumb, not to react. And then if it is going to cease, going to reduce, then your whole body, sitting posture will be again clear. When it is happening, try to be very patient. Try to take time to see the whole body. It is called just being or just sitting. You experience what does it mean by sitting. What does it mean by being, just being. So when it is happening still further, the mind, the body becomes settled. Then only the breathing process in terms of rubbing at the tip of the nose or the heat and cold sometimes may be touching on the top of the lip may take place. So otherwise the rising and falling of the abdomen Some people feel somewhere in the throat. Whatever may be, when the body and mind become calmed down, the breathing process is the basic thing representing the life. It is called in Sanskrit or in Hinduism, pranayama. That's a prana. Prana means the life, basic theme of the life. So when it is coming in this way, by its own prominency, that means you are more natural, more consistent, not reactive. So that is why very difficult at the beginning. So you have to have a very calm and quiet start. And mind also must not be disturbed by the thoughts, pain and the sounds like that. And slowly, slowly it will come and hit the bedrock. And there the breathing may be manifested very clearly. And unless otherwise, other disturbances, breathing is not the main object. Or rising and falling is not. So therefore, without reacting, you just see with the whatever the other things, and when they are ceases to exist, slowly, slowly, it will happen. And within a sitting, you may experience this 10 times, 15 times maybe. Of course, if you are efficient only, you can have it. Otherwise, you will be ever reacting, and more reactions, the disturbances or secondary objects will take the majority of your time. So therefore, when you are try to make the mindfulness or try to establish the mindfulness in front of you, you have to be very attentive to see what is happening in the stream of consciousness. What is happening, what is called in being, in sitting. So therefore, enormous amount of patience must be at the beginning. When it is there, if you are lucky enough, you may see the in-breath and out-breath. So that is how the next phase of this Sathipattana, so sato asasati, sato passasati. Mindfully he in-breath and mindfully he out-breath. When that is also happening, anatomically, breathing, the air column, the air draft touch many places. So you have to take very distance kind of observation or aloof or get a distance from in-breath and out-breath. Try to see how the mind discriminate the experience of in-breath and out-breath, and which is the most prominent place where you get the touch of it, the rubbing sensation. And that also has to surface with its own prominency. So you are lesser the amount of effort you are going to do, quicker the time you are getting acquainted with the most prominent place. So Sathipattana Sutta basically and clearly, directly indicating about this, sato asasati, sato passasati. Mindfully you in-breath and mindfully you out-breath. That indicates you are never manifesting, never do force breathing. Let the breathing take place and it is under the light of mindfulness. And there, the focus which was earlier placed upon the body, now slowly converging and coming to concentrated to one little area of the body. Maybe tip of the nose or top of the lip, or sometimes in the rising and falling of the abdomen, wherever may be, the attention which was earlier with the whole body slowly reducing to one point. So that is why the breathing process itself is stimulating many points. But you are being asked to get the most maximum prominent point, conspicuous one, and then as the time passes, so slowly, mind come to a particular tip a particular pinpoint where it is most prominent, both in breath and out breath. If it is difficult to take it to a pinpoint kind of concentration, appoint a common place which is common to the in-breath and out-breath. Even if it is a 1 or 2 square inches, never mind at the beginning, because now the attention which was earlier with the whole body now reducing to this much of a small spot. Something like a torch. When you are focusing its beam, you put the batteries and adjust it, fix the beam onto the wall, and you rotate in such a way, you focus it. And when it's focusing, the light becoming pinpointed or reduced to the small dot. Something like slowly you are take the point, and if it is so, this is the second alignment. The first and foremost alignment is see the experience or see the discrimination between in-breath and out-breath. That means you are with breath or rising and falling of the abdomen. When it is happening, you are locating the place also. This is yet another alignment along the same line. So that means quite an advanced stage. And then what you have to do is, with these 2 alignments, you have to expect or continue as long as time with this primary object. From in-breath to the out-breath, out-breath to the in-breath, in-breath to the out-breath. And as more the time, more you get information directly under the nose. What does it mean by in-breath? What does it mean by out-breath? How do you experience the in-breath? How do you experience the out-breath? So, sato asasati, sato pasasati. As if you have come to the highway and to the correct speed track, and you can drive now. Now the journey is started. Of course, when it is going there, the thoughts may cross, and the pains and the sounds, anything can happen. But if it is going to become more prominent than the sensation of in-breath and out-breath, you are definitely will be dragged away from your primary object of in-breath and out-breath. If it is so, you are without any reaction, you come to know what is the disturbance. So we call in meditation jargon, what is the secondary object? Maybe a thought, maybe a pain, or maybe a sound distracting, or any other visualized things. Many things can happen. Whatever may be, if it is more prominent, very stronger than the sensation of in-breath and out-breath, you have no other option. You will be taken to that. And if it is so, try to isolate it, which is the distraction. Is a thought, or pain, or any sound, whatever may be, try to understand it as if it is the primary object. Do not try to wipe it off. Do not try to wash it off. Do not try to see it as an enemy. If it is so, definitely they will take a good footing, good anchorage due to your reaction. You will never see a natural thought which is coming, the beginning, and stay for a few minutes or seconds and then go off. This is the natural thing. But if you are going to react, you are unwantedly making an encounter, and then it will, you are, even if you are not, it is not the natural thing. When the sound comes, if you are reacting, definitely you can't be aware of the sound, the pain also. So therefore, try to get a distance approach. But the thing that I wanted to stress was, if your experience of in-breath and out-breath being disturbed, prominently disturbed by a secondary object, and once you pinpointed it, delimited it, then treat that secondary object as the primary object. try to see its natural characteristics without any reaction. And that is the best way to tackle it, as well as to get the maximum out of it. And naturally, I will assure you,